old man got the tractor beam out of commission, or this is gonna be a real short trip. Okay, hit it!
Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. I still haven't thought of an intro because our last show was only this past Saturday, but I'm joined by...
Perfect intro.
For now, I guess, yep.
As good as any other one we do, so it's fine.
My intro will just be that I'm unprepared and not have one.
Steve's the only one that actually has a real intro on our show.
Matt, how are you?
Good. Doing good. Ate some food, got some chili in my belly, so I'm feeling good.
And Steve?
Wonderful. Looking forward to this new series. Should be fun.
Yeah, this one, so it kind of caught us all by surprise in that I'd planned on us being able to talk about new releases as they come up, and T-minus 2 days later we got news of a new release. So I just wanted to go ahead and talk about that one by this artist named Gabs, and I'll also bring up some prior work he's done because he actually hasn't done that much Star Wars work before. So if you're not familiar with his work, I'd like you to be familiar with his work. He does fantastic stuff. So this is what dropped today, 1 of 4, Lando Calrissian. So decent size, it's 13 by 19. So framed, you could put that matted in an 18 by 24 frame. And
so it's a nice size, actually.
Considering how many really large
prints
are released, I appreciate something smaller, especially given it's a really stoic pose. It's obviously not very dynamic. But what I thought was really interesting, I try to put the edition sizes on all of these in case people are curious, but these ones were especially curious to me. So this one was $135 for the regular Lando. Pay attention to those as we go through because they're not all consistent edition sizes. I don't know if that was based on the popularity of the characters or supply chain issues. I don't know about that, but this was the first one. And I think it was the Landau prints that were the first to go. So this was one of the 2 that were the first to sell out today.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, this versus, spoiler alert, Krennic, I guess so. But I do love the tonality of this one. And it is watercolor pencil and paper touched up in Photoshop, according to the artist.
Okay.
So this is printed as a what? As a gickle. Okay.
Gickle, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
This one. And
I don't get the variant, man. I don't understand.
So it is a weird, I don't even know, it's not, sepia is not the right, it's almost like New Jersey license plate yellow.
It's just,
I don't know how else to describe it. So this is the variant, same size, obviously, but the edition size of 50. So that would explain why I think it sold out in like 5 minutes today. That being said, another contributing factor is what I like about Bottleneck is if you occasionally, not always, but occasionally, if you've bought from that artist previously through them, they'll do a private sale the previous day. So it was yesterday, Monday, that some folks who had bought from him before through Bottleneck were given links to buy these prints ahead of the public sale.
Oh, cool.
So that could sometimes contribute to a lot of these going lightning fast.
Sure.
So that could have been why this one went so quickly. But yeah, it does have that kind of yellow tonality to it, and also has a little bit of pops of orange, kind of like towards the shoulders, that I think is interesting.
What are you about to say, Steve?
I was going to say, let's be honest, it's ugly.
It is.
I mean,
I think so too.
I think it's for a certain person.
Yeah, somebody who's colorblind. Seriously, the other one is really nice.
I know, I like the other one too.
It's like, wow, a Lando print, yay! This, but the other one, the next one, I don't know. Sorry, okay, I probably just got like 2 people in the audience mad at me. I apologize.
No, it's fine. You know what I don't like about this one? That I'm a little bit critical about this one is the white line around him, around his whole Yeah, like I
Mhm.
I don't like that because it kind of takes away from the like on the right side of his helmet. Okay, I could see that being like maybe sunlight or something, but like going all the way around him like that, I don't.
If you look behind his neck,
Mm.
okay, it's lighter behind his neck.
Mhm.
So is it meant to be some sort of backlight
Maybe, but
where he's outlined by the light?
that's not how it would look though. Like I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. I still think it looks great. But the other one is not doing it for me. It's just
It's
not.
like what's it? It's gray and a patch of brown, or
Yeah.
am I just not seeing it very well?
I think once you've seen this one, it's real easy to be like, this one's a bit of a letdown, just because the colors in the first one are so great.
Yeah.
But I do have a picture of all of the ones released so far, variants together, and I think that makes a little more sense to me. But we'll get to that one too. So here's the other one. This is the one I got.
This is nice.
So this one was an edition of 100, and I think the Krennic ones lasted probably the longest. I think it was the Lando variant that sold the quickest, followed by Lando, the regular edition, and then
See,
maybe.
I totally missed all of these because I was wanting to get this one, and I'm just so used to. I don't know why I'm so used to them dropping things on Wednesday, midday, like Wednesday at around what is it 9 o'clock my time or 12 noon Eastern or whatever.
Yep.
I just totally missed it, and then I'm talking to Jason on the phone randomly, and he's talking about. We were talking about these, and all of a sudden I found out they're already sold out. I was like, "What?"
Well,
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Did he get one of these, or?
I think I'm trying to remember if he did or not. I don't know if he did. He might have.
Well, and if you're like Matt and you did miss out today, if you go on Gabs's website, I didn't include it in the presentation, but Google's a thing. He has APs still available of his previous two, like the first two of the Star Wars portrait series that he's been doing.
Right.
So I imagine it's only a matter of time before these, presumably once they're printed, will be available.
Yeah. Which the other ones are fantastic. The Mace Windu and the Dooku look great.
So this one, I did want to bring up one thing that was mentioned in our group. Oh, whoops. Give me 1 second, and then I'll mention that thing that was mentioned in our group. So this is the variant. Again, like yellow tonality to it. So this one was an edition size of 50, and I don't recall. Let me see real quick. Yep. Okay, so the Lando was an edition size of 50. So the regular of this was 100 versus Lando, which was 135. I thought that was strange. I don't know why they wouldn't have just made both the regulars 135. Yeah. Unless Krennic's not a bankable character or something. I'm not sure.
That looks fantastic in that cream color with the pop of color on the whatever. The variant of this one I'm not a big fan of either. Yeah. I just wasn't liking it. So but yeah, that's cool.
I think this one maybe works a little better than Lando.
A little bit, yeah.
Pop of orange that
just
feels out of place, whereas this one it's almost like it looks almost aged, if that makes sense. Like it's
definitely better. He looks so good in black and white though. That just looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think
there's a lot of detail in this too. If you see the close-ups, it looks really, really nice.
So good segue. I do have a close-up that was mentioned in our group. So someone, Ben, said that the rank badge looked a little wonky to him, which, yes, this is hand-drawn. Yes, artists still have access to rulers. But in my opinion, the reference photo, his badge looks wonky anyway. So I could see where Gabs was coming from as far as, to me, it looks like the depth of the tiles, like the thickness of those, vary, especially the first, like bottom three blue ones just don't look 100% straight to me. I mean, this detail certainly wasn't enough to deter me from buying it, but just something to point out.
Bother me. It doesn't bother me. Ben mentioned this yesterday in our group, and I get it. I get why someone, especially I feel like Ben and Robin, they do a lot of 501st stuff, and so they're very attuned to like looking at the tiny details of things, right? Of all the costumes and all the things. So I feel like I totally get why they might be like it would bother them, right? Totally. But it doesn't bother me. I'm not, I like that it's hand drawn, that there's, it's got its thing. And yeah, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. So maybe this wouldn't pass the 501st
Yeah, maybe not.
inspection
Maybe not.
requirements, but it certainly still makes like a decent print. And Steve, I didn't get your thoughts. Did you have any thoughts on this one? This is
Well, this is how you do a combination of black and white and color, in my opinion, right? Where the color improves the image in some way, draws your attention to something, whereas the color on the other one was a little bit of brown in his Coke. I don't understand why they're trying to draw attention to that part of it. So no, I think this is much better. And I really like the use of shadow on his face as well. I think he really captured that shadow really well, and it adds an emotion to it.
Yeah.
And I might be overthinking it, but I appreciate that. I mean, his costume doesn't have a lot of color to it anyway. Obviously, it's all white, but I think that the rank badge being the only thing that's in color kind of speaks to the character, as far as I think he did try to like swing his dick around a lot when it came to the Death Star project. So I think his rank means a lot to to him, perhaps. So it's kind of interesting that it's like the second thing you see besides his face that kind of like draws your eye.
One of the favorite things I think about this this is that line that comes down all the way on his chest. Yeah, that long line. That one. I love that it's actually like continues down and actually gives you a sense of the rest of his cape and everything like that. It's just cool. I just like that it's like super minimal and simple.
And I think if you had seen his other cylinder just over here somewhere, it would have ruined it completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the way he did it. Were you gonna say?
I went to the website you talked about, and he's actually got for sale an original drawing of the Emperor that he did. But next to that, he did drawings of Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Oh, cool.
And I put the link in the private chat. If you want to pull it up later, fine. If you want me to pull it up later, fine. But I'd like to just show those real quick.
Yeah, I don't have pictures of the originals on the PowerPoint, but I do have the what they're based off of.
So they're the circular ones.
Yes.
The circular stencils.
Yep. Cool. That's the set I keep threatening to buy. So I definitely remembered that one.
Oh, so they made a set.
Yep, spoiler, we'll get to it. So here's the Mace Windu that he did last year. So this was the first of what he's considering his portrait series, his Star Wars portrait series. So the regular is the purple one. The variant is that New Jersey license plate yellow. I think I'm not a huge fan of Mace Windu. I think everyone knows I'm down for the dark side, but this purple, I think this looks incredible. So the regular was an edition of 175. So again, an odd number in my opinion. And the regular was an edition of 75. Thoughts, opinions?
Yeah, no, I think the purple's fantastic. It's one of those things. If you had a set of these next to each other, they would look really, really good. You think you'd have to, though, especially next to Krennic, you'd almost have to have like another like a purple one and then an orange one, and then you know what I mean. Like it'd be weird to have a black and white one next to Krennic and then a purple one. Like you kind of need to have like a.
And I think that's why the New Jersey license plate yellow kind of works if you want them in like a grid pattern in a gallery wall without having to do what I do and just put kind of like with like. If you're one of those people that has to have one artist's work next to the same artist's work and keep everything together in a more organized way, then I think you're going to go a little stir crazy with these ones. But so the other one that he did last year, this is the second one he did, was Count Dooku. So the regular is the red one. That was an edition of 135. and the variant was an edition of 50. So again, weird numbers. So the red and then the license plate yellow. I liked that
He
he
still has
Dooku.
those on sale.
Yes, so the as you guys are probably looking on his website, so the Mace Windu and the Count Dooku, the APs are, like I said, still on his website. So therefore, if you missed out on Krennic Orlando today, he will probably be posting the APs on his website at a later date as soon as these are printed.
Yeah.
So here's the portrait series altogether. These are all of the regular editions that he posted on his Instagram page. And here's all the variants.
Yeah, the variants suck, don't they? Ugh.
Well, I mean, together it kind of makes a little sense, but also I think it would bother me that with Mace Windu and Dooku, there was no other elements of color. It was all very, it's almost like when you see screen prints that are printed on, it's basically like one or two colors, and they're printed on a colored piece of paper, and that's what gives the art its color, if that makes sense.
Honestly, Cece, I just don't get it. I don't understand why Bottleneck, Mondo even sometimes does this, where they make a beautiful print and then they pour sewage on it and put it up as a variant. And it's like, cool, the variant's like super limited and expensive. And like, you know, you gotta, like, everyone's like, gotta get the variant, but it looks like shit. It doesn't happen all the time, but
this reminds me of like when you leave a poster or photo in the window on a shop, right? And the shop goes out of sale, and 10 years later it's still there, and it's all been faded away. That's the color effect that it gives me, like a faded sunlight burned out kind of color, and it just doesn't work for me at all.
It looks very old timey photo. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because sepia is not the right word. It's almost like just discolored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I just think it's weird because it's a very they do it all the time. Like it's not just a random thing that they do. They do it
yellow
a lot. No, but I'm saying they suck the life out of the image.
Oh yeah,
and they make some variant like a very desaturated, like,
or I don't grayscale as pops of color, which is how I view it.
That's okay. Like, that's cool. That's why I'm saying some variants I think are great. I think the ones you have behind you actually work really well. That's okay. I think sometimes that it does work, but I'm saying sometimes, like even Mondo does it, where they just change the colors enough and mute the colors and do some weird things that, like, it just doesn't look right to me. And it's a variant that's like, you know, super limited. And people like go nuts for it. I don't understand. There's been multiple times where I've gone to buy a print and I'm like, I guess I'll just get the normal one. Like, I'm here and I can get the variant, but I don't want it. It's just weird. But I guess maybe what else are they going to do? I guess
you have to, at the end of the day, I think, go for what you like. And it's not always the variant that's the best. It's just sometimes they nail it with the variant, and sometimes it's the regular, like, the Daniel Danger shadow box. I went for the regular. I preferred that.
Yeah, but it's also sometimes the limited edition that people like about it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I think that's a combo of a little bit of FOMO and also
of course,
collectors who are anticipating that one's going to be the one that's worth more.
That's worth more. Yeah, worth more.
Yeah. So this is the set that
these are awesome. Yeah,
Steve and I were talking about earlier. So. This he called the original Star Wars saga. This was only sold as a set of 3, so you couldn't buy them individually, but they're 18 by 24, and the set was an edition of 135. So it was inspired by Luke's evolution through the whole trilogy. So the first one's called The Beginning, the ESB is called The Journey, and the Return of the Jedi obviously is called The Return. And I have some detail shots of these as well because.
Did you say 135 or 350?
Did I? 350, sorry.
Okay, 350, yeah.
I was dyslexic.
You said 100. That's fine. It's not a big
deal. So then these are some detail shots
that's pretty.
That I wanted to show. That they just have a lot of detail, even though they're so small.
You don't have these, right, Cece? You don't have these.
Not yet. I keep threatening to buy them. There's a guy in one of the print, like, buy-sell trade groups that was selling a set of these for a reasonable price. So I kept considering them. But then these were the variants. And so I think everyone by now knows that I have kind of a...
It's actually cool.
Black and white, 50 Shades of Grey kind of theme going on in one of my rooms. So These again were 18 by 24, and the this set was an edition size of 100.
Yeah.
So I think it's these ones, the drawings of these that are the originals that Steve was talking about that are still available on the website.
Cool.
So we can probably pull those up later if anyone's interested in purchasing those. And here's some detail shots. So they definitely look more like sketches than anything else.
I don't see those on his site.
No, what he has for sale is the original sketch of the Emperor.
That's right. Yeah. That's
Okay.
1,000, right?
But these are all over eBay.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
The black and white ones?
No, there's one set of black and white. There's like a 10 of the color ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not quite 10.
Are they pricey, Steve? Or
the black and white set is $165, so it's not
That's
too
not
bad for
horrible.
3 posters for 3.
What about the color ones?
The lowest price on them is $220.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I'll mention this one just because, again, he hasn't done many Star Wars prints, so I feel obliged to mention him before a sequel one, even though I really do like this one.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a timed edition. I don't recall how big this edition was, but I know there's another one that's kind of like his OG, the first Star Wars print he ever did. That was a timed edition, and that one was a huge edition size. But I think most people, if you're not familiar with his work, will recognize that one. So this one was a big edition, but it was also a big print. It was 24 by 36. So the biggest one we've seen so far, and this was released in 2017, which kind of surprised me that it wasn't earlier, but I think that's because his first Star Wars print was released around the same time that The Force Awakens came out. So that could have spurred the interest initially.
He's also got some really nice Lord of the Rings prints, some Marvel prints. He's got a lot of great stuff.
He does a lot of Batman as well. So he's done like a series on all of the Jokers. I think the Jack Nicholson Joker portrait goes for quite a lot. But of course he did Heath Ledger and he did Joaquin Phoenix as well.
Man, if you want to go crazy over variants, take a look at the Blade Runner triplet.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's like one's a light gray, one's a dark gray.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The difference is like non-existent.
Yeah, it's crazy. One's like a chrome. Yeah, it's interesting.
And this one's not as yellow, but this is the variant of that Force Awakens one. This was an edition of 250 when this released in 2015.
Okay.
See, color is a little bit better on that too. The way that variant uses color, right?
Yeah.
So
I agree.
You know,
this is what we're kind of talking about where it comes to saturation, where it's like this one you could tell it's very blue and orange, and this one is more orange.
And sometimes it works. And I agree. This is a little bit better. It's the other times where they like, when there's a sky or something like that, and they change the sky color to like freaking orange or yellow, and it's like weird. It's just kind of weird what they do to variants. And
so far tonight, this is the first screen print I've shown. So the other ones were giclées compared to screen print. So this is a screen print.
Nice.
This one I really like. Yep.
Yeah,
so that's a typo. This is 18 by 24, not 18 by 34. But this one was a timed release. I don't recall how many of these they did. But I have a detail shot as well that I really liked. Zoom in on the eye. Now, this is one I think I'll actually go after one day. Not that I'm a huge Anakin fan. I am a huge Darth Vader fan. And I don't have that features Anakin anyway. So I really like this one.
Cece, you need to go after the Killian foil. Don't get a half dozen Vader prints. Save all that money and go after the Killian.
You know what? Yeah, I should probably just cancel the show entirely and just stop. Not going after quantity over quality, perhaps. No.
For Vader though, the Killian foil, man, that thing grabs your attention from across the room.
I like that one and the Tauntaun. I think those two are my favorite.
Which Tauntaun?
I think it says like 15 right on it, and it's.
Oh yeah, like the yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So this was the variant. So you basically went from green and blue to red and blue. I'm sorry, yeah, red and purple actually.
Look who it is, Steve. He's back.
Hey.
He's able to comment now. Thank goodness.
Thank you again. Yeah, you were on the first show too.
Took us forever to figure that out.
My bad, Brian.
We?
Oh, Cece.
Anyway, So this one was an edition size of
That's kind of a cool variant.
Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily get the colors compared to the, like, I don't think it matches the theme
No, but
necessarily, but
still cool.
still interesting. It's, props for being a different kind of variant. This one was released in 2017. So this is the one that when you say Gams, this is the one I think
Yeah,
of.
this is the big one.
So this was the first Star Wars print he ever did. It was a timed release, and they did 3,900.
Yeah.
So if you want it, it's probably available. But it does have a lot of presence to it. I think everything you could ever want.
Did you get this, Steve?
Is in this.
No. I
almost got
I'm
this
trying
in
to
one
get
place.
away from the montage of a million characters.
Yeah, I hear you.
There's just so many of them, right?
It's like you threw up Star Wars and into a print. Yeah.
I have a whole bunch. I have the stout set. I have the Easy Anaconda version, and it starts getting out of control after a while.
What's funny is I did see someone posted. I think it is. Steve is your
Vader Killian behind glass?
Not behind glass. It's behind like the
acrylic.
Acrylic. But I got it from Frame It Easy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, I did see that someone. So this kind of like almost like triptych style that he's done before with Lord of the Rings, as you said. Someone recently, I don't know if they cut it. They had to have, I'm assuming, but I don't know if it's like unorthodox to do. But they basically cut out the middle section of the print.
This one,
Lord of the Rings. So okay. Lord of the Rings one does the same style. He cut the middle section out, which I think is regarded as the worst film of the trilogy, isn't it?
Interesting.
Huh. I'm not a big Williams person, but he cut it out and then joined the two, and then framed them together. So it looked, and especially that Lord of the Rings one. I'm not showing it tonight because it's Lord of the Rings, and I figured no one wanted to see it except for Steve. But it looks like like it almost like a very old. What do they call those? Like folding, like wooden folding wall separator almost.
Like a divider, room divider.
Like a divider. It's got hinges and everything, so it kind of works that they cut out the center and just added it together. But this one, like I said, was very popular, and you'll see it in a lot of collections. And this was the variant. So again, just like a little subtle difference. It's almost the opposite. So this one's more yellow, and it was the regular, and then the variant is just a little bit.
I don't like that variant.
Yellow. And this one was an edition size of 225.
Okay.
And that's all I had for tonight. And we're only 28 minutes long. I know. So if you guys want to, Steve, I don't know if you want to share your screen, if you want to show off those.
Oh, it's just the one. I can show that. Yeah.
Or Lord of the Rings, if you're offended that I didn't include them.
Please, no. I did. All his stuff's good though. If you go to his website, his stuff's fantastic.
So it's shop.imgabs.com.
Yeah, he's got a cool first Avenger poster. That's
these variants work for me. The two Werewolf in London ones. I might have chosen a different color than the yellow there for the belt border, but those work.
So the interesting thing about that Lord of the Rings one is I think the black one is the variant. Yeah, so the only difference between the two is nothing to do with how they changed the printing process. It's literally the paper. So the color of the paper on the variant is black, whereas the regular it's not.
So it just changes the color of the prints.
Yeah, and that's happened a few times. Like Mark Engler has done that. He did that with his like Weapon X print that came out last year during Bottleneck's virtual NYCC. That the variant was on black paper. I think that's pretty interesting. But you can see where it looks like each piece is on hinges. So someone just cut out the center and just added. I don't know why. I don't recall if I saw any comments as to why, but I did really like the Blade Runner set that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Russell, we're just joking about Lord of the Rings. We actually really like Lord of the Rings. So
yeah,
just kidding.
So what do you say? I like all.
He says he likes Lord of the Rings.
Russell, to me, it's the second greatest trilogy of all time. So
I really enjoy the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, let's see. So these, it's interesting. Yeah, you still get yourself a Windu, still get yourself a Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
And only marked up slightly, so I think they retail for $50, and here they're $60. It's not always the case with artists who sell their APs. Sometimes they are priced a little higher.
Yeah.
The if you go down, the first Avenger, is it the first Avenger print? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
This variant's pretty sick, where it's like the flags in color, all the red, white, and blues in color. It's pretty cool.
I think that, I can't remember. I think that one came out last year. It seems relatively new.
Yeah. And then, this is the original pencil drawing.
Nice.
$1,000. Which is, I don't think it's that bad for an original sketch.
Yeah, not horrible. I mean, it's original artwork. That's usually, that one's pretty sick too. That Godfather one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does some great stuff.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, guys. So if you ever see Gab's name come up for any artwork down the line, now you might want to check him out. And
and Matt, do you think do you have that link I sent you before that I forgot to include? So if you want to follow him on Instagram, his username there is not Gabs. It's his actual name, which I'm not going to try to pronounce because I'm going to butcher it. But he did tease back in December, I think it was before Christmas, that he is working on a Dune for Bottleneck. So even though I have a Dune print,
I think I'd get that.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a contender. Because that already, that preliminary looks incredible. But yeah, he's got an Instagram. He has a private fan Facebook group that I'd recommend you join. I don't know how active it is compared to some of the other ones I'm in, but that might give you some insight as to whether, a little more notice as to when his prints will be available or when APs will be available, or Bottleneck if they're ever sending out pre-sale links like they did for this week. But I think anyone who bought either of the prints today, even though maybe not the variants, but the regulars, will be really happy with what they got.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. I'm going to keep an eye out for the APs, I think. See if I can't snap one of those up once they come out. But I really like that Krennic. I was wanting to put that Krennic next to that Matt Ferguson Krennic.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of fits, right? So that's what I was thinking, and I totally missed it. So,
and Russell, I agree. $1,000 for an original is not terrible. I've gotten quotes for commissions that have been much higher than that. So,
yeah,
and presumably the other two have just sold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have a live sellout of that tonight, as like we did with that Old Republic poster on Etsy.
Exactly.
Congrats to everyone here.
So, you want to hear the prologue to that?
Mm-hmm.
Did yours show up damaged?
Yeah. So what happened was the fulfillment company for him rolled it up without tissue paper in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And so the basically the paper scuffed the ink on it. And then when they got to the very beginning of the roll, I think they rolled it too tight or whatever. And there's all these creases in the ink throughout it. So I was like, God damn it. So I contact the guy.
You just can't wait.
He's like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I've never done that before. I'll order another one. And if you look at the website, it's no longer out of stock. It's normal inventory. So basically, that was all just a ploy, guys. That thing is printed on demand. So
well, I think most Etsy shops, it's like the person behind the scenes will set how many are available, but that doesn't mean that once they're gone for good. Because I've bought things that say only one in stock, but it's only one ready now. So if you buy, he's got to make, or he or she has to make another one or produce another one, and then it'll be back up on the website.
Right. So,
especially fulfillment service, I can't imagine if he's using that they're going to be limited edition. You know what I mean? If it's just a click of a button kind of situation.
Yep, but again, just a fantastic print, and I hope the replacement it doesn't have these issues.
By the way, Benjamin said he's sorry there that him and Robin are late. But Ben, we talked about you at the front, or kind of towards the middle, I guess, when we were talking about the
right
little
badge.
the badge,
Mhm.
and how it bothers you, and I can understand why, and it doesn't bother me, and that's okay, But yeah, I think that was interesting.
And Caesar, I have heard of Drop Mag. Only when they do, I think they do like every year they do an end of the year kind of like best of, where you can vote on Instagram as to what you think the best release was. And also, I think it's Tom who runs Drop Mag is often on Matt Ferguson and James Henshaw, the co-owners of Vice Press. They have their own YouTube channel and they do live streams. I think it's only like once a month.
That's cool.
So they're not balls to the wall like we are, but it is an interesting listen.
They're not balls to the wall like Collecting Weekly is. We're not balls to the wall. The Collecting Weekly is balls to the wall.
In the grand scheme of things, there's no balls to the walls with us.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
And then they also did, so Vice Press, they did an interview with Sideshow. Was it last week? It was a short one, but it was interesting because they're based in the UK, but there was, I think it was the Jurassic Park print by Foley is now offered through Sideshow. So if you don't want to pay the outrageous UK shipping price for a tube, you can go ahead and order it through Sideshow now.
See, Brian says he feels sorry for you for your bad luck, but he looks forward to your inevitable horror stories. It is.
CC, who's the artist of that Boba Fett print I got last? I showed you the one where he's landing on the sail barge. Well, not landing on the sail barge, we're landing on the skiff.
Carl Fitzgerald. Yep. Oh wait, why was? Because I saw someone was selling that one, and I almost messaged you, but then I remembered I knew about it because you said you bought it, not that you're looking for it.
Yeah, I just got it today, and it looks great.
Oh, so it didn't have damage.
Ben says, I didn't mean to sound negative. It's an awesome print otherwise. Yeah, I know you liked it. Mm-hmm. Other than that, look, there's going to be things in prints, statues, helmets, all kinds of stuff that if it throws you off, what are you going to do? That's the only thing you're going to be able to look at.
I wanted to mention that in case someone is the same way, and I didn't want them to figure it out. Like once they got it up on their wall, they're like, "Oh my gosh, that really bothers me. I'm going to stare at that and nothing else."
Yeah. And Ben was cool about it. He didn't post on our group and say, "Oh, look at this shit. Like I don't like this." He was like, "There's something that bothers me, but I don't want other people to like get bothered by it." And then I had to be like, "Well, what is it?"
We talk about stuff that bothers people all the time.
I want to know what it is. And so once he said it actually didn't bother me. So it just depends on kind of how you feel about it. But
so did you get the variant or the regular, Steve?
He only had the variant for sale, so I grabbed the variant.
See, if that wasn't, it's 24 by 36, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's cool though.
I wish it was smaller because I do love that.
It's pretty.
That's not what she usually says, but
that's always what she says, right, CC?
We're talking art prints. I know I just discussed balls a second ago. Ben's like more balls, less walls. No, I have a lot of art prints. It's more balls, more walls.
CC confirmed that's always what she's a sizist. She likes the smaller side. That's fine. It's fine. Prints. Yeah. I think with that said, CC.
on that
great note. Cece, what do you think? How do you feel about the show? Are you feeling like it's going to be like what are you thinking in terms of regularity for this show? How do you feel?
So, we had talked about what regular night we would do this on, and ironically, we did decide on Tuesday, and then this drop happened. So, guys, it would be really helpful. Like I was even asking my family and friends who give like a little of a shit about art to watch the show just to tell me how they thought about it and ways I could improve. So
that's not good.
Yeah, like people who like love me enough to sit through us talking about art prints.
See, just don't let them watch the other shows.
These same people are they're gonna organize an intervention, CC.
they're gonna call the cops on us.
They're gonna say, who are these clowns you're hanging out with?
Exactly.
It's funny. So this was kind of a rush just because I didn't anticipate one happening so quickly. And as you saw, we don't get a lot of notice before. Like it wouldn't have been possible for me to do a show like this on the prints Monday night before they dropped on Tuesday.
Right. But CC, a lot of drops are on Wednesdays. I will have to say, I've seen a lot of these things drop on Wednesdays. So I think having them on Tuesdays, depending on how you want the regularity of them to be, I think we could possibly get people to hear about some of this stuff before it comes out.
So what I envision is kind of this kind of show as things happen. And then in between, we could do, like, obviously I went through all of Gabs' Star Wars Rolodex in this episode, but we can do kind of like in the quote unquote off time of when we're not hearing about prints that are being released, we can discuss, like, you could do top 5 of our favorite art prints, or we can do collection spotlights of art prints, because again, please, people, DM me if you'd like to show off your art prints, because I think it's a really easy thing to show off, especially for collectors, like I said, where it's almost like we're self-conscious in our homes because it's like we're waiting on one more thing to come in, or there's glare on glass and it doesn't look great. So just sending a bunch of JPEGs in would be fantastic. So if anyone's interested in kind of like opening up your portfolios, if you will, let me know. We could do those in the meantime, or showcase specific artists that we like, or ones that we think people should know more about that maybe don't. But yeah, that's what I kind of envision in the off time that prints aren't being released.
I found a good Darth Vader print for you, CC.
Oh yeah, is it that Darth chocolate one?
Yeah, CC.
Perfect.
That's not good. You don't want to get that.
This looks like a promo image with like Microsoft Paint added.
Yeah, it's so much of a promo. This guy was giving one away with every print that he sold. So
this looks like it would be on like a porn site or something.
So I did one time buy, I think it was like 3 prints at a time from someone, and he had like a Force Awakens print and something else for free if you purchased like more than 2 prints. And he was like, "Which one do you want?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's okay." And he was
good.
Like,
I'm good.
"Oh, do you want the?" And he asked again. He was like, "Do you want the Force Awakens one or the other one?" And I was like, "Oh, Force Awakens one would be fantastic." So I have
like,
one, that I don't want, but I was like, I feel weird saying no.
CC, I got that print from the guy today. So first of all, he double tubed it. Okay, so he wrapped it in one tube, then wrapped that tube in bubble wrap, and then put that bubble wrap tube inside of another tube.
I don't think I've even had that happen to me.
It's insane. But the reason I bring him up is he gave me a Book of Boba Fett mini poster with it. And
he sent you a first order hot toy. Stormtrooper. He's like, "Listen, I got too many of these things."
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I really appreciate the sentiment, but
honestly, that's comic. When you buy comics, sometimes they do that, where they'll send you like a whatever Batman comic or something with your Star Wars comic, and it's like, okay, I don't know what to do with this thing, but cool. Like, I'll appreciate it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a night. Thank you so much, guys, for being able to hop on so last minute. You guys, Matt and Steve, and also everyone in the chat, I really appreciate it. And we'll certainly let you know when the next show is. I don't know if it'll be this coming Tuesday or if we'll take a break. That's what we're kind of gonna hash out. But we'll keep you posted in the group, and obviously just subscribe, thumbs up, do all that shit. I'm trying to sell myself here. Please do so. To stay posted on the latest and greatest in art prints.
CC will look at that stuff. We don't usually, but that's fine. We'll try to keep on top of it. We're really not good at this, but I'll CC will let us know next time we hop on. And guys, if you're keep in mind, we do have a group therapy this Friday. So that'll be the next time we have something. So it's actually a decent amount of stuff this week. So
and some fresh dumpster fires.
Oh, that's nice.
Is it going to be the piss yellow variant prints?
There's probably worse shit to talk about than that. It's exciting. I love
Well, on
the
that
dumpster.
lovely note,
I
have
love
a
the
good rest of
dumpster
your night,
fires.
guys.
See you guys.